the only difference between us and the defensive backs were they could turn better. So we could get out there and run with them, but we just didn't turn as well as they did.
But they don't hit as hard as y'all hit.
No, when they hit,
they ain't as nasty as y'all.
That's true, because when they hit, it goes rat-a-tat-tat. When a linebacker hits you, it goes boom, boom, boom.
Welcome into another edition of Up On Game Presents Conversations with a Legend. We've had some great ones going on. I've had some great interviews. Obviously, anytime I get one of my heroes and one of my role models onto the show, it's always quite the honor. Introducing one Mr. DT Darryl Talley. What's happening, man?
Not a whole lot, LaVar. How you been, man? Been taking care of yourself? Staying out of COVID?
I am taking care of myself. I'm trying to do all that I can to be all that I can be, so that I could try to measure up just a small tad bit to guys like Darryl Talley, man.
Oh my God.
What do you got going on? What is Darryl Talley up to these days?
Right now, I'm working in the NFL Legends community, working with them, trying to help guys find their benefits and stuff like that. Just doing whatever I can to help.
Yeah, and that's always been the type of guy that you have been. So let me give everybody the background. For those who are living under a rock and have no idea, we just saw the Bills go out in the playoffs, and I know that one probably pained you. I know it hurt you, and I can only imagine how crazy you were going watching that game, because I see how much passion you have for your team and your mob. But Darryl Talley played from Ohio guy, went to West Virginia, Mountaineer, went number 2 overall, number 2 in the second round, went second round is what I'm trying to say, in the draft. Had an amazing career. I mean, obviously most notably with the Buffalo Bills, but you did have time with the Falcons, you did have time with the Vikings, but I'm sorry, you're always going to be Spider-Man arms that played for the Buffalo Bills.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
I mean,
I appreciate it.
You were original drip, DT. Like, everybody talk about like all these styles and stuff like that. DT was the original drip.
Yeah, I was the first one out the faucet.
What people don't realize is they talk about bigger, stronger, faster in the National Football League. But you were bigger, stronger, faster back then as a linebacker. What, you 6'3", 6'4"?
6'4", 230.
230, and could run with tight ends, and could do coverage.
Run with wide receivers.
And so when people say people have gotten bigger and stronger and faster, I say they're confused.
Shake my head.
Right.
I have to shake my head, because when you look at the linebackers that we had on our squad,
all big.
We had me, Cornelius, Shane. Yeah, we had big guys that could run. Marcus Patton. Everybody could run.
Yeah.
And the only difference between us and the defensive backs were they could turn better. So we could get out there and run with them, but we just didn't turn as well as they did.
But they don't hit as hard as y'all hit.
No,
they ain't as nasty as y'all.
That's true, because when they hit, it goes rat-a-tat-tat. When a linebacker hits you, it goes boom, boom, boom.
I know that's right. All right. Now, DT, I do this show because, again, I want to give a voice. I've created this platform to talk to legends. I feel like there's this next level of needing to hear what the wisdom of what our legends bring to the table. And you are one that has a lot of wisdom. And I just remember every time I've been around you, you have imparted so much wisdom and so much knowledge on me, and just how you handle things, how you approach things. talk to me about your beginnings. I want to know about how you grew up and how did that play a part in your mindset? Because there are very few people that I have ever met that have a mindset that resonates with me. You know, Greg Lloyd is the one, you know, he grew up around the corner from me and he grew up being my favorite player. You guys were my catalyst for being what I became, which was a big, nasty son of a bee, and how I played that and how I played that game. Talk to me about where that mentality for you, where that came from.
Well, here's the thing. I grew up in East Cleveland, Ohio, on the east side of Cleveland. And I was the smallest kid in my class, if you can believe that. I didn't grow until after I got to be my senior year in high school. I had a broke ankle my senior year, didn't play, but I'm probably the only guy you know that only played 10 varsity football games and got a full ride to school.
Wow.
And got drafted to play in the National Football League and played 14 years. I was 5'6", going to my senior year, 5'6", broke my ankle, grew to 6'1", then got to college, grew from 6'1" to 6'4". I still never weighed over 211 pounds to my senior year in school.
Wow.
I was always the smallest guy out there, but because I was smaller than everybody, I knew that my advantage was leverage and to get to you first. Trust me, I tried to get to you first. I wanted to be on every tackle. Every tackle that was to be made, I tried to make it. If I couldn't make it, I was going to be in on it. And that's just the mindset of the guys that taught me to play the game when I was a kid. And then when I got to Buffalo, I got there and I had a couple good guys to show me around. Sherman White, Ben Williams, who's no longer with us, and Phil Villapiano, who also played for my college coach at Bowling Green. And his guy on the other side of him was my position coach, who also went to my high school. So at the end of my career, everything sort of fell into place for me. I got a guy who didn't recruit me out of high school, wind up coaching me in college, made me into a real good technician between he and Gary Tranquil. And then I got to Buffalo. I ran into Phil Villapiano, who he played with in college as the other outside linebacker at Bowling Green, while Don Nealon was the defensive coordinator there. So when I got drafted in Buffalo, Coach told me, go over, talk to Phil. Coach Simmons said, go talk to Fu. I go, who is Fu? Phil Villapiano. So I did what they told me to do. I listened to what they told me, and I became a good soldier. I got in line, did what the older guys said. Hey, don't do this, don't do that. Here's how you get around that. They showed me workarounds for different things that I had to learn. And I paid attention. Most of the important thing was pay attention to the older guys, because they didn't get to be old being stupid.
Correct.
They got to be old being smart.
That's right.
So I paid attention to them and I listened to what they were saying. Then I took some of the things that I learned from my dad and how to bring a team together and keep guys together. I took what he taught me and I put it all together. And I just said, look, here's what we're going to do. Got together and I got a good group of guys in Buffalo. They did something really, really unique a long time ago. They recruited a bunch of guys that were like-minded.
Oof.
And being like-minded and having somebody that's as stubborn as me on their squad really paid off for them, because I was like this. I told everybody, I said, look, all you guys are younger than me. All you guys are going to get the pub, get your PR. You guys go get it. Go get as much as you can. Don't worry about me. I'm going to get mine. They're going to have to give me mine because I'm going to take it. I'm going to make them adhere to me. And the younger guys said, okay, we're going to listen. We talked to each other. We taught each other things. Just like Cornelius and I, to this day, I call him my younger brother. We used to sit down and go over game plans and look at him and say, hey, dude, we give it. He said, one time, let's play the counter track. Back then, everybody was bouncing the counter outside, and the outside linebacker was giving himself up. Cornelius said, man, we fast enough to either make the play or flathead the guard and then cause a whole lot of problems. He said, so why don't we try flatheading? I looked at him in practice. I looked at him when he said it, and Walt Corey just looked at me and said, y'all can't do that. This is what we need to do. So once Cornelius and I did it, we did it, flatheaded the guard, and made the play. He says, okay, y'all can do that. But if you don't make the play, I'm yelling at you if you go up inside.
All right, now DT, so everybody out there in layman terms knows what flathead means. Are you saying that you hammered it back inside? You made sure that you contained it?
No, I came down the line. I was supposed to make the ball bounce outside.
Right.
Make everything bounce. But what I did, instead of doing that, giving up my outside shoulder to the guard's inside shoulder.
Yes.
Instead of doing that, I hit the pulling guard and tackle right down the middle. Square up so I could slide to the right.
To the offside, upfield side up.
Yeah.
Not underside.
Upfield side, right. Yes. Because I could use their bodies to block the hole. So if I got there fast enough, I used the guard and the tackle to block the hole. Because now you got a big 320, 340-pound man trying to swing around a guard. Ain't going to happen, and you got a fullback coming too. It's not going to work. They're going to all run into each other, or I'm going to make the play.
Everybody ain't good enough. Everybody ain't bad enough to do what you talking about doing. Now, you and CB, y'all were good enough to do that.
Two of us,
y'all
right and left. I mean, we did what we said we were going to do, and it gave us an extra option because sometimes I could get there before the back takes that jab step and comes back. Yep. Sometimes I would be there in time enough to meet him before the guard got to me. So I could hit the back and the guard and the tackle missed me. But I had to make the tackle.
You had
if
to
I didn't make the tackle, if I didn't make that tackle when I got to the sideline, my ears were getting chewed off. So we made the tackle.
Now,
Walt Corey was a former linebacker that played for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So you don't want that grizzly bear growling at you.
Right. Let me put this one on you. So I played with Bruce. I didn't get the honor of being able to play with someone like you. CB went on to play many years with the Colts and got a chance to play with dudes in our generation because he was younger. But talk to me about a lot of times people focus in on Dre. They focus in, which I had the chance to play with Dre too. They focus in on Andre. They focus in on Jim. They focus in on Thurman. They focus in on the offense a lot of times and how prolific it was for the Bills. But that defense was one of the most stifling, prolific defenses that isn't talked about in the history of the game.
I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. I mean, because we had, on our defensive side of the ball, we could change the game with what? We had 6 guys that could go out there and literally change the game. However it was going, if it was going sideways, we have done it individually during the season. One guy will change the game, start to change the game, then somebody else will pick up, and it's just like a chain reaction. I tell you what, I say our defense is built similar to that. Someone on the outside looks like it from a distance.
Okay.
Look at the Los Angeles Rams defense.
Okay.
That's what our defense looked like.
So
think about it.
So
Nate Odoms would have been Jalen Ramsey.
Okay.
Bruce Smith would have been Aaron Donald.
Okay.
You could put Floyd. Floyd would be either myself or Cornelius, because both of us rushed the passer and both of us could cover. So, that's the closest team I see on defense that's like us.
Y'all was better. Y'all was better than that.
I think we're better than that, but I can't say that because then
I'll say
I would be showing preference.
I say
here's the thing. What I say, we still had Shane Collin inside.
Yes, you did.
We had
who was big. Y'all was all big
with a big head.
With a big
we
old
called him
head.
Jughead.
You had big Jughead too, though. Y'all
no,
was some big dudes.
We had big heads on us. Trust me. They had to fly our helmets in with helicopters. Yeah, but we weren't afraid to lay them on you.
That's it. It was butt them up. You got to butt them up.
That's it.
All right. So that's culture. Listening to you, that's culture. Just hard nosed, study, be learned, be understanding of it. How did that play? Because you guys to this day are all tight off the field still to this day.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen y'all together, and I felt like an outsider just because of just how y'all are with one another. And that's how it should be, because y'all bled, y'all sweat together, y'all went through so many things together. And I mean, at one point in time, y'all were the hottest thing in all of football. So just amazing to see the camaraderie that you guys share. Talk to me about today's I guess opportunities, DT, because back then branding wasn't something that was just you were taught to do.
It was not.
And I mean, you were like, again, wearing the Spider-Man arms, the downhill skiing tights when you played the games and stuff like that. That would have been branding. Now that's something that you would have been able to monetize and make money off of and be a brand. Those things now exist. Talk to me about your feelings on those things. Even at West Virginia, right? With NIL, the naming, image, likenesses, that rule coming down. What's your opinions on NIL and all those things? Brand
NIL, I think that's going to change the landscape for a lot of kids going to school, because it's going to be the quarterbacks that get all of the big deals, and it'll be the wide receivers and the skill guys that'll get all the big deals. I don't think you'll see that with the linemen and stuff like that and linebackers yet, because I just don't think that they're doing that. Unless the guy's playing exceptionally well, then he can do his name and likeness, which I think is a good thing for them. I mean, it's going to change the way college football is scouted, because right now the rich are only going to get richer and the poor are going to stay poor in that game. Because here's the thing. You don't really have to go back to high school now to recruit a kid to find out if you want a good kid that knows how to go to class and do the work. Now you got a kid that you want to go get from another university, bring to your university, you can do that. And that kid will have to spend 3 years with you, or 2 years with you, but you have already got somebody that knows how the system works. They're a qualified student, they're a good player, and they can only make your team better. So say the Alabamas, Ohio States, the Penn States, the Michigans, all of those guys can go to the portal, and now instead of going to getting a high school kid, you can go to the portal and get yourself 2 or 3 receivers. I do believe the kid that said Alabama, the one wide receiver that was at Alabama, came from Ohio State.
Yeah.
And he's playing exceptionally well. And look at the type of notoriety he got in just 1 year. So, yeah, that gives them a different platform, a different way to get involved. So, yeah, that part of it is good. I also think that it's now giving the players a chance to get a little more something back than just an education for what they put into the game. Mm-hmm. I mean, because let's put it this way. I never got any money for any shirts or jerseys that were sold when I went to school.
And you should have.
All of that money, and that money all went back to the university. With that going back to the university, we get nothing but an education. We couldn't even have a summer job.
Right.
I mean, we could take that back. We
could only make so much.
Yeah, but you can only make
so many hours.
Right. So you have no other way. And if for guys that don't have the wherewithal to go to school, here's a way for a guy to be able to make some money, be able to help himself get through college.
Yeah.
Because when I went to school, we didn't have a whole lot of money to go to school. If you didn't have a scholarship, you didn't go to school. That was the deal. So most guys went to community college back then. So with that being said, just giving them the idea, the ability to change and do things like that, that's a game changer, man, because anytime you can go earn your own money, you don't have to listen to anything else they're saying. All you have to do is behave, which I don't think a lot of guys understand. A lot of guys, I think, how did my mom say it? They spared the rod and spoiled the child.
Oh, yeah, spared the rod, spoiled the child.
Yeah, that's what they did. My mother's the opposite way. She's going to use the rod.
She's going to use it
and spare the child.
From being spoiled.
They keep the kid from being spoiled, because if you
beat
his butt and tell him what that's right. You got to be told what to do, when to do. You got to have some sort of guidelines.
Right.
You got to have guidelines. You got to be given. You got to come up with some sort of rules for people. And some people don't know how to stay between the lines. They get outside the lines. We all get outside the lines. But the idea is to be able to come back inside them and keep everybody in there together. And that's what I think we did.
How does that play out for the Legends community? Like, because you're part of the community and we service each other.
Yeah, we're servicing each other. Basically what it is okay, I'll pick up the phone. I'll call you. I'll leave you a message. I'll say, hey, how you doing? This is Darryl Talley calling. Just wanted to know if you signed up for the Legends community or what you've done. Have you signed up? Do you know where to get your benefits at? Have you done all of this? Because what we're trying to do is get everybody back in the fold. Because here's the thing. When did you feel the happiest? When you were playing and you were around all your guys in the locker room. You felt at ease. You felt a little more comfortable. You would be willing to go out and do a few things extra. You could talk to the guy and say, hey, man, what do you think about this? You have someone to bounce things off of, that's your peer, that you know it's not going to lead you down the wrong road. Well, at least our guys were that way. We didn't do that. We led each other down the right road. Or the way I looked at it, I said, look, a chain's only as strong as its weakest link.
That's
and
right.
If I'm our weakest link, we'll never break. And I mean that, and I take that to my grave with me, because my guys will tell you, if I tell you I'm doing it, I'm doing it. No matter what, come hell or high water. My wife will tell you the same thing. I get in trouble all the time for doing things I tell people I'm going to do. And my wife says, no, don't do that. And I go, I already agreed to it. And she goes, and she'll start yelling. And I'm like, okay, sorry, but I did it because I gave the man my word I was going to do it. And that just comes from my dad, my upbringing. If you give somebody your word to do something, you're to do it, no matter what it costs you. I mean, a man's only as good as his word.
That's right.
And if you ain't worth that, then you're not worth salt. I can't do anything with you. You got to see, and that goes back to olden days, as my kids would say. How do you cure meat? With salt.
Yeah.
And I put salt on the meat because I want my meat cured. I want to be able to eat. So, I have to think about things like that. And that's basically what it is. It comes back to rules. Respect people. You want to be respected, so respect people, and doing that. And being nice to others and talking to others. Because here's the thing. You and I may not have played together, but we have one brotherhood. You know what that is? We've bled and sweat on the National Football League together, and we did that. And guess what? There aren't very many of us in this world. And to have two of us on this Zoom call is one hell of a deal, boss, because anytime we get two of us in the room, we got two very special people because there aren't many of us.
That's right. It's that energy.
Yeah.
It's
That's
that
it,
energy.
boss. It's us. We got to be ready at all times.
You're a warrior, man.
I have to be. Bro, growing up in Cleveland and then having two girls, yeah, you got to be a warrior.
Right.
Because if you're not, then it's going to go sideways for you.
I got three. And the Lord then played I know the Lord played a cruel joke on you. I've seen your family. The Lord did the same thing to your boy. He got That's a
I
cruel
know they didn't
joke.
build them like that when we were young, did they?
That's a cruel joke. That's all I'm gonna say. And you're right. We got to be warriors, brother. Because it ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
It ain't easy. Let me hit you with this one, then I'm gonna let you go, OG. When it's all said and done, and somebody's going to give an account on Darryl Talley's life when Darryl Talley no longer exists, what would you want to hear that will make you proud of who you were and the legacy that you left and you created?
Let's see. Faithful, hardworking, and never say die attitude, because I will never, ever quit fighting. I think I'll fight until the day I die or I leave this earth, because I only know one way to attack everything. That's head on, straight ahead, and be upfront with it, because I will ask some of the craziest questions. But what I'd like to be known for is somebody who cared and who gave it all. I gave it all. I didn't get to where I wanted to be yet, but I'm working on that.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
Just got to be ready to go.
And now I have it documented. So it's from your words. It ain't just come from somebody else. It's coming from your words. It's been too long to not give guys like yourself a platform to be heard at this point. Y'all done too much. Y'all done too much.
I got one other thing I want, man. I have one thing left, because I had 4 bites of the apple. I couldn't win the ring. Only one thing I got left to do. I got to join my friends.
Indeed.
That's where I got to join my friends in Canton. That's the only thing I got left that I want to do. And I'd like to do that before my dad passed.
I sure hope it happens, bro, because you are worthy and you are deserving 100%. 100%. I sure hope that happens, DT. On everything I love.
That's the only thing I got, I got the love from my school. I'm the 4th guy that's ever had his number retired there. And when you think about that, that's scary.
Yeah.
That scares me more than anything, because I'm thinking to myself, out of all the people that have played college football at West Virginia, number 4?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We're going back.
That was huge.
We're going back to West Virginia. I'm taking you back to West Virginia. We're going to do this very thing on West Virginia's campus, and I want the people to hear it. I want the players to hear it. I want this to be that next iteration, that next deal for our Legends community, is to reconnect with our schools, and
that's what I'm doing.
Some value there.
I'm trying to do that. I'm working with Oliver Luck right now and doing that.
Well, link with me, man.
We're trying. All right.
Link with me on that. Like, let me help facilitate with you.
Okay. I will do that. You got a promise there.
That's painless, man. I got the GOAT. I got one of the GOATs on the line, man. Darryl Talley, bro. Always humble. I always feel an overwhelming sense of humility when I talk to certain dudes, man. And you on that short, it's a very short list of where I bow.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I bow down to the respect of my elders and what they represented, man. And
here's the thing you got to remember, LaVar. You were once one of these dudes. You were that dude. Because I looked at you when you went to, and your people going to get mad at me for Nitwit University, because I called y'all the Nitwit Lions.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Hey, bro, you guys had some heck of a teams there. And I got a lot of friends that I played with against them.
Indeed.
But bro, y'all did something special at that school. Y'all did something special with y'all's linebackers. I'm telling you. They didn't call it linebacker U for nothing.
Indeed. Indeed.
You guys were good. I appreciate it.
That means a lot. That means a ton to me. You know that coming from you.
I know, because I know.
Always that level of respect, bro. We're gonna link soon. We are going to link soon. We're gonna do some special thing. This is just the start. But again, I was excited when they told me that they got a hold of you and that you had agreed to do it. And this is I'm gonna be in touch with you. I promise you that.
Okay. You got my number now.
That's Darryl Talley, y'all. Make sure y'all check out this edition of Up On Game Presents Conversations with a Legend. Man, I can't tell you enough about how this one hits me, because Spider-Man arms was real. That bad boy was out there. We watching these playoffs go on right now, and I tell you what, if you want to relive something, go back to them playoff games with those Buffalo Bills. Boy, because they was coming with it. Canton style coming with it. So make sure y'all stay tuned in. Subscribe to Up On Game Presents, where you can get the full episode of all the interviews that are done. I appreciate you. All the love in the world, all the respect in the world, OP. I appreciate you.